The Union Pacific leads the way, straight through the desert. I'm driving through the heart of the Wild West, kilometer after kilometer. But here, Texas turns out to be much more than a series of cowboy cliches. A Prada store in the middle of nowhere. The handbags are real, but they're not for sale. The boutique is actually a sculpture. A pair of Berlin artists created it in 2005. The sculpture is supposed to slowly unravel over time and sink into the sand. But only 3 days later, the building was covered in graffitis and somebody had stolen the handbags and the shoes. So they had to renovate the place, and while they were at it, they installed an alarm system. Since then, the sculpture has remained untouched. It serves as a sort of outpost for an art oasis with only 2,000 residents, Marfa. Over several decades, New York artist Donald Judd produced an entire body of work here. His minimalist art and architecture breathed life into the surrounding desert. Now, Thomas Kellein is helping to preserve the artist's legacy. The seasoned museum director from Bielefeld, Germany, is now leading Marfa's largest arts foundation called the Cincinnati Foundation. Kellein's new motto, think big.
The Cincinnati Foundation is the source of contemporary art museums. It's a dream. It's the highest possible quality. I want to turn this entire area into a World Cultural Heritage Site.
One of Marfa's highlights is this installation. 100 cubes made from aluminum, each one different from the other. For many, this is Donald Judd's greatest work. Despite all his success in New York, the sculptor and painter wanted to escape the city's vanity and excess, so he bought Marfa's abandoned military property in 1979. Here he found the calm, down-to-earth way of life that he needed. Today, art students from across the country guide visitors through the Foundation's art treasures. Registering beforehand is mandatory. The Texan isolation doesn't seem to bother the students. They stay on for months, studying each angle and shape of the artist's work.
All of the works here are pretty much designed for the spaces, and you really start to get a feel for that with especially like the aluminum works here. And you can see how his architectural renovations kind of are tailored to each piece. It's wonderful.
And that's the case for almost all the pieces here. Behind every door, a completely new world. A light installation by Dan Flavin. Neon tubes separate a corridor, creating completely different environments on either side. No wonder Flavin called one of his earlier works the diagonal of personal ecstasy. Visitors are supposed to directly immerse themselves in the art.
There's
a strict order and geometry and rationality to it. But as you can see with Dan Flavin's work, it's about lifting off and floating in an unbelievable cloud of beauty.
But not all of the art at the Cincinnati Foundation Museum is aesthetically beautiful. Ilya Kabakov's School Number 6 is in rundown barracks that reminded the Russian conceptual artist of his childhood in the Soviet Union. Visitors can walk directly through the artwork. Marfa is about coming very, very close to the art. It's about being part of art, and it's about even using art as normal objects. Take this chair here, for example, designed by Donald Judd. Original chair, I'm sitting on it. In which museum in the world can you do something like that? And that's exactly the spirit that still today attracts artists. Some people even run through the artworks. Bill Morrison from New York is the current artist in residence. The filmmaker and video artist has received a grant from the Cincinnati Foundation. In turn, he lives and works on the land for several months. His specialty is taking old film rolls that have been chemically ruined and digitalize them, creating a film collage with music.
certainly has been a blast of space. You know, it's given me a time to breathe, and I run a lot, and being out here has calmed me down a lot. You know, so I don't know how that will reflect in my work.
Marfa was a big adjustment for Thomas Kellein too. His family plans to join him this summer in this remote, dusty town with only one traffic light. Art oasis or country backwater, sometimes it's hard to tell. Marfa's rugged western landscape makes for the perfect Hollywood setting. The Coen brothers shot their film No Country for Old Men here. The town also served as a shooting location for Giant starring James Dean. But even off the big screen, the city of Marfa is attractive.
Life is really beautiful in Marfa. It has so much to offer in the way of culture, readings, music, theater. I miss Germany, but not right now because I'm still really new here. But I've lived abroad before, and I know how it is when you miss your homeland. Right now, I miss my family more than anything.
Marfa is a melting pot of culture. What town with a population of just 2,000 souls can boast a concert by a Grammy Award winner? Sharon Isbin runs through her sound check at the theater.
Let's not forget,
Local art gallery owners are putting on the gig, and tickets are free. In Marfa, culture serves as an engine of change.
I think it does, slowly, and there's some resistance to that. But, at ballroom openings, we have ranchers come, we have a really diverse crowd come in, and so I think just by the nature of being here, you start to change the culture, you start to change the individuals in the culture, so.
The audience is definitely something special. Here, ranchers mingle with the museum director. Old-timers come too, but remain skeptical.
We have culture shock here, at least some of us do.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, things change so fast, and I'm so old that I don't like for things to change at all.
Still, the choice between a campfire on the prairie and a concert by a Grammy-winning artist is no real contest. The concert hall is full. Marfa, itself a work of art, a place where culture and nature are in harmony. Donald Judd's legacy lives on, here in the heart of the Wild West.